Hello, BookTube, and welcome back to the library tour of Doom. On this channel, we are doing a library tour that is not shelf by shelf, it is not bookcase by bookcase, it is book by book, and is designed to grind you into paste. And today's book is a fantastic volume. This is the Running Press Unabridged Mark Twain. By Lawrence Teacher, edited by Lawrence Teacher, with opening remarks by Kurt Vonnegut, who wastes no time in heavily implying that this Mark Twain guy is okay if you like that sort of thing, but if you really want good humor, you'll go to Kurt Vonnegut. Less said about his opening remarks, the better. This is a huge thing. The hardcover is Running Press. I think the paperbacks were done under the Courage imprint. And this is the unabridged Mark Twain, but there is a second volume. and I have had that second volume. I've had both of them in trade paperback, but they just don't hold up. Much as I love the job that Running Press does on these, they do Edgar Allan Poe, they do beautiful Jack London, they do a Shakespeare that is I have it right here. This is my favorite collected Shakespeare, as you can tell. And this is the trade paperback, and it is, I have reinforced it 6 ways from Sunday, and yet even so, this is my third copy of the trade paperback, because what I really want is a hardcover with a dust jacket of the Running Press collected Shakespeare. I would take hardcovers with dust jackets of all of those things, because I love the sensibility that pulls these things together. The trade paperbacks, I love them, but they don't hold up to a reread. And there's a second volume of this. This volume includes a lot. It includes all of Huck Finn, all of Tom Sawyer, all of Innocents Abroad, A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, The Prince and the Pauper, a bunch of short stories, a bunch of the famous nonfiction pieces like James Fenimore Cooper's Literary Offenses and things like that. But it doesn't include, for instance, Mark Twain's volume. I have it here nearby, but not within reach. Is Shakespeare Dead? It doesn't include his long essay about the Shakespearean authorship controversy. And it doesn't include Following the Equator, or I don't even think Roughing It is in here. Whereas that second volume includes a whole lot more. And the only reason that I don't have it is because I haven't found it in a hardcover with a dust jacket. It's out there somewhere. I think it has a big numeral 2 on the spine. But in the meantime, I will take this. This is, it is not a challenge to the family Mark Twain, which was for the most of the 20th century, the Mark Twain big fat anthology to have, the one that people grew up with in their house. You'd have a Bible, a genealogy table, and the family Mark Twain. I have a bunch of Mark Twain anthologies, including quite a few in this room, arranged around all kinds of different themes. And this one doesn't have a theme, except that it's really major works, and it's well put together. The blurbs are, everything about it, except the introductory remarks, is perfectly designed. And sometimes I want this, right? Sometimes I want to encounter a lot of Mark Twain and just go rambling around in it. At other times, equally legitimately, I only want the one work. I only want one standalone work. And I don't want to find it in an anthology. I don't want to read it in bumping elbows with a whole bunch of other works by that same author, which is my justification for having not only this anthology, but most of these individual volumes as well. Just in case I feel like only reading Innocents Abroad, which often happens, then I will do that. I have the great illustrated Reader's Digest hardcover of Innocents Abroad up on that shelf. So this room is saturated with Mark Twain, but this is all the big stuff in one book. And sometimes I want that. So, and also this serves as a visual reminder to me, as if I needed one, to grab the unabridged Running Press Mark Twain in hardcover with a dust jacket volume 2, should I ever see it. I've never seen the hardcover of Shakespeare. I've seen the hardcover of Jack London a couple of times, but only without the dust jacket. I know that they're made. I know that Running Press made hardcovers of all of these things with the illustrations on the trade paperbacks on the dust jackets. So it's just a question of waiting. The Brattle will provide. But in the meantime, that is your book for today. It is a great heaping helping of Mark Twain. And this volume is so inviting. It's just so, Running Press volumes are so great in the hand that often, even if I feel like reading just one particular thing, I will still grab this volume, which is why I got it. I waited to get it in a hardcover. It's why I reinforced it, and so that it could take the pounding. This is the Mark Twain, the collected Mark Twain that I go to. It's a great deal. There's a great deal of Mark Twain in this room, a great deal scattered all throughout in all sorts of different shapes and formats. But Running Press has my has my heart. I love their volumes. I know of 5 volumes. They do 2 of Mark Twain, they do 1 of Jack London, they do 1 of Edgar Allan Poe, and they do 1 of Shakespeare. And I have in this room the hardcover of Mark Twain, the paperback of Shakespeare, which is on it's got another life. It'll probably live through ShakeTube again, but then I'm going to need to go looking. I'm going to need to grab the next running press trade paperback that I find, because they're just too big to survive vigorous use. So I'm on the lookout for hardcovers of all of those, but this is the one that I have, and that is our book for today. It is a heaping helping of Mark Twain. So that concludes the library tour of Doom for today, but there will be more, an infinite number more. So I will reconvene and see you then. Thank you, BookTube.